Hi, Miss Wayne Goodsell. So, it kind of sucks to learn that people want you murdered. It especially sucks that I get confirmation that I'm here so that I can be murdered. People in positions of trust, people in the police force, even the chief of police, government, and I'd known that the religion I grew up in was trying to murder me. Had that confirmed as I found the receipt online. But yeah, I mean, to have caseworkers, dear God. So, that's my life. All because Joseph Smith was a Jew? Wow. I'm the enemy because Joseph Smith was a Jew. That's just beyond unreal. But you can definitely tell a person's character by Mormon's character specifically when you point out to them the facts that Joseph Smith is a Jew and that the Book of Mormon and his history are all just apocalyptic visions. They're not literal history. And I do get to some extent with ex-Mormons as well, because they've got it dead set in their mind that it was all a fraud and a con. So to learn that it's apocalyptic Jewish literature is unacceptable to them as well, right? But people just don't care about these kinds of videos. So, because the Book of Mormon is apocalyptic literature, it's talking about the last days. And we're in the last days, as I've been going over with you since 2017. It is my #1 popular video, the one I did back in July 2017. And the reason why I never get views ever again.
Manuel Lopez, please come to the front desk. Manuel Lopez, please come to the front desk. Thank you.
We're entering into the final year, as April 8th is the final year point. But it's the final calendar year. And obviously we're experiencing the climate change disasters of 3rd Nephi chapter 8, which into 9 and 10, and then finally in 3rd Nephi 11 we have the sign in the heavens of 8 April 2024, the death sign. And so here in chapter 7, I've been wondering how far back, because I've been early since 2017 on these predictions. And it's mostly a selfish desire to get this over with so I can make it to Zion and live in peace and happiness. And unfortunately, everybody's missed the Exodus. The 2 Exoduses, actually. There's a second harvest, and so yeah, we all missed it. And so instead we have what the Book of Mormon talks about here with those surviving the natural climate disasters and making their way back to Zion. And so here we have, "Now behold, I will show unto you that they did not establish a king over the land." These are the Gadian robbers who, priestcraft with murder to get gain, and thus destroyed the nation, destroyed the government. But the government is destroyed here, even though their chosen king did not make it on the throne. They did murder the chief judge of the land. Now, King Mosiah, if you remember the story, was quitting the throne. And none of his sons, or at least the birthright blessing son, didn't want the throne, and so Mosiah, to avoid conflict of any potential future situation, just changed it to a constitutional republic with the laws of Mosiah. And there were chief judges who were appointed to judge according to the Constitution. And so it's not the three branches of government. So, as apocalyptic literature, there are at least two and a third option for interpretation. You have the President of the United States, and you have Chief Justice Roberts. But there was an interesting thing that I had remembered today. Back when Reagan was attempted to be assassinated by the vehicle, by the one guy that got close to him, shot him up in the armpit area, people were resurrecting the urban myth. So it's an urban myth of the curse of Tippecanoe. I didn't realize or remember the name of it. I was looking it up, typing it in Google search. But ever since, as we wait for Adobe Reader to pull up, I've been under cyber attack the last couple of days. I noticed people just don't want me to access the internet or any programs, as they're purposely overrunning them to heat up my laptop and slow everything down. It's just the latest attempt to stop and silence me. Also known as Tippecanoe's curse, the 20-year curse, or the zero curse, urban legend, about the deaths in office of presidents of the United States who were elected in years that end with the digit 0, which are all divisible by 20. And so, yes, Biden. And I had the other day done a check on presidents who were assassinated in office, and there were 4. And let me bring up that picture for you. We have William McKinley, James A. Garfield, Abraham Lincoln, and John F. Kennedy. And I believe Lincoln was first. And then McKinley, I think, was around 1880s. And then I think it was James Garfield, who was 1901. And then Kennedy. All of these are liberal platforms. And so don't be confused by Lincoln being a Republican. The party doesn't indicate the platform. And don't pull an anachronism. The Republican Party of today is not the Republican Party of Abraham Lincoln. It was the Confederates who were the conservatives of today. And he was more liberal. It was World War II when the party platform designation flipped for the parties. And the Red Scare of McCarthy was how the Republicans became conservatives, because the conservative liberals, or the conservative Democrats, which were KKK, and supporting the Nazis, had to support their allies, the communists. And that's why they switched to a more liberal platform. And McCarthy said, oh, hell no, I'm resurrecting Nazism in America. And apparently there was a coup attempt by Nazis to overthrow America, as well as the neo-Nazis that are in the news lately, trying to take out our infrastructure. And did I not call it? I must be inspired when I did the video about Oakes and Stevenson. But Biden is liberal, right? Even though he wants to try to make peace and friendship with Republicans who had purposely frauded Obama into thinking that he could work with them. And so, yeah, that's tonight. That's tonight. So I have no idea if it's going to happen. I've known in the past where I exposed something online that the church tends to postpone things, and got pissed that I exposed it. But the Book of Mormon has turned out to be accurate, guys. In 2017 is the first year. That's at the beginning. Lehi sees Revelation chapter 12 sign in the heavens. And that's 2017. And so in the first year of the reign of King Zedekiah, who was put on the throne by a foreign government. That's now been established and confirmed. As certain people have gone to jail and others were pardoned by that same president, who still is not indicted for his crimes against America and his treason and others. But yeah, this is the problem I see, is that people are not getting held accountable, and others are seeking to overthrow the Constitution, the church specifically, wanting more religious freedom than what's already given them in the First Amendment. And thus we realize, as it's been exposed, specifically by me, that they have an exemption clause. They are exempt from obeying the law that they're getting passed and taking credit for. Yeah, we approve of gay marriage. Oh, we're fine with it. We've always been fine with it. Go right ahead. We approve. But there's their little fine print at the bottom. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is exempt from following this law. Well, that's the con. And so, yeah, what happens after the destruction of the government with the murder of the chief judge? Read your scriptures. Come on. I have to do everything for you guys. Now, the nation divides into separate countries. It's the divided states of America. But they symbolize it in story form as tribal groups. And a chief tribal leader over each of the tribes. And families as part of their tribe. It's a party system. The United States will be divided by the party group. And so the Democrat states will be Democrat nations, etc. Whether they unite, it's not likely. They'd have to get together, they'd have to agree, they'd have to decide what to do with those who've chosen not to join, and you'd have to establish commerce. And if you saw the last election decision, you realize that our nation's going to be split right in half and then spotted elsewhere, and the coasts are Democrat, and it's going to be a disaster. But when you realize the facts that Sidney Rigdon's the major author of the Book of Mormon, and that Joseph Smith Sr. rewrote the 116 pages, and that it was Sr. who was helping William Morgan in Canandaigua, New York, and that it was his responsibility as the Master Mason to take over the finishing and completion of the Book of Mormon, which is the warning message for the latter days of the destruction of America, the plot to destroy it. by this church, the great and abominable church, with the inverted pentagram on the keystone of their temple, which Nelson says is Jesus. We'll just not call it Lucifer, we'll just call it Jesus. And everybody will be fooled and deceived and want to murder me. So yeah, it's lonely being the only one who knows this information. And I only have one person that I email on a regular basis. There's a few others who have been with me on YouTube for a while, but yeah, I'm all by myself here, obviously, because they're trying to murder me. So, yay. So I don't know if tonight will be the thing. I mean, Bobart or whatever her name is, she wants to bring guns to the State of the Union. We all know what that's for. But, I mean, who are they going to frame as a patsy this time? It's going to be a little trickier with today's technology. Everybody will be able to watch it on live camera in real time, and so nobody can actually be deceived by others who try to fake a video.